Before the first raindrop ever fell, Noah lived in a world drowning in its own darkness. Violence filled the streets. Corruption had seeped into the hearts of people. It was a generation that had forgotten the sound of God's voice. But Noah still listened. When God spoke, it wasn't with thunder or fire. It was a quiet instruction that sounded impossible. Build an ark. Build a massive ship for a storm no one had ever seen. Build a vessel of salvation in a world that mocked the very idea of judgment. Build hope while the sky was still clear and sunny. You see, obedience rarely makes sense at first. Sometimes God asks you to build in seasons where nothing seems urgent. Sometimes He calls you to prepare for rain while everyone else is out dancing in the sun, but Noah obeyed anyway. Day after day, he lifted heavy wood, hammered countless nails, and wiped sweat from his eyes. And what did he get? People laughed at him. They whispered behind his back. They pointed and called him a fool. But Noah just kept building. Because obedience isn't about fully understanding every detail it is about. Trusting the one who sees the bigger picture, the one who sees what you cannot. And then the sky broke. Rain fell not like a drizzle, but like the earth itself was weeping. Waters rose. The foundations of their world failed. Everything people had put their trust in completely collapsed beneath them. But the ark, that strange thing Noah built in faith, it held firm. Inside that wooden womb, surrounded by the storm, Noah learned a profound truth that can still save us today. Obedience becomes our protection. Obedience becomes our refuge. Obedience becomes the very place where God carries you when the world outside is falling apart. For 40 long days, the rain poured down. For months, the waters covered everything. And in that silence, in the endless waiting, in that long stretch of total uncertainty, Noah must have had moments where he wondered, God, have you forgotten about us? But the Scripture says something so tender. It almost feels like a whisper from heaven, and God remembered Noah, Hiru, in your flood of waiting. In the loneliness that sometimes comes with obedience. In those places where you feel sealed in, shut away, and totally unseen. God remembers you. Finally, the ark rested on solid ground. The waters receded. A dove returned, with an olive leaf, a small, simple sign of a huge, unbreakable promise. And when Noah stepped out onto dry land, what was the first thing he built? It wasn't a house for himself. It wasn't a city. It wasn't a monument to his incredible survival. He built an altar. Because true obedience doesn't just end with our deliverance, it flows into worship. It leads to a heart of gratitude. So, let's make that our prayer today, that we would have the courage to build what God asks, even when we don't understand. That, when the waters rise, He will carry us. And when He brings us into a new season, our very first step will be gratitude, our first breath will be praise, and our whole life will become an altar. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.